internet cut out for a second, so we are back. We're going to be sorting out all these technical issues next time. So next time we won't start late and we won't have random breaks between episodes. Well, random breaks.
Hopefully.
Yeah, hopefully. Let's see. I also need to get this to be broadcast out. That way we can actually have watchers and stuff. So I'm going to be tweeting this out.
Yeah, guys, it was the CIA. They took down the stream.
Yeah.
I see we are already SO posting.
I also had a chance to change it so the quality of the visual is a little bit higher.
Nice.
Okay.
Yeah, let's just wait a little bit so people get back in.
Once we get a couple people back in, I'd like a statement real quick about the taxes and the welfare thing. It's a short, little interjection, but I don't want to lose my train of thought.
Yeah, I didn't want to go too into the welfare thing because it's a completely different subject. I just wanted to mention that it also exists and it also makes the same problem.
Yep. Yeah, I was looking through the chapters of the book while you were making that point because I was like, hopefully he talks about that because that way I could be like, oh, and in a few weeks we'll be talking about this, so stay tuned.
Yeah. Kyle, what did you just say before, Colton?
I said that I didn't want to go too in depth in the welfare thing because it's a completely different subject. It's complicated. It's a big conversation. But I just wanted to mention that it also exists and it also adds up to the same problem.
I see. Okay. We also have our first troll in the chat, so we have finally made it.
Oh, dude.
Nice.
Oh, dear.
What are they saying? Because I'm not looking at the stream.
Mr. Cadus Rising says God is a superstition.
Ooh, F.
That's a real Fedora Tipper moment right there.
Yeah.
Shrek.
If only I could post that in the chat.
Yep. So,
I would like to know the context behind that comment.
I think it's
because absolutely nothing to do with what we're talking about.
Yeah.
I think it has to do with Isaac, Volnost, and I being fairly well. I wouldn't say well known, but obvious Christians. It's not like we talk about it quite often.
Yeah.
I suppose.
It's so random though, compared to the content of the
game.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's why I said it's the troll. It's not like we're discussing that.
Yeah. I mean,
tax is bad. God's not real.
Oh man, it went from 0 to 100 real freaking quick.
Nah, man. So,
I might actually read the book now that I have time.
Oh,
I just need to learn how to read for
F.
The frames are dropping. It said. It's weird.
yeah, no. The
Okay, we should be good now.
If the visual is dropping, that's actually okay because it's just a GIF.
I just want to make sure it doesn't crash again, because that'd suck.
the fucking image you put. Tips fedora.
Yeah,
I actually have a fedora somewhere around my house.
I used to
Another
have a fedora until it got blown out a window.
If we had webcams, you could just pull it out.
These
Yeah.
are things you want to admit.
Yeah, I was pretty cringe in high school and starting in college.
I just like hats. I didn't buy it for like memes or anything. I just like hats.
I think
Right.
I'd like two.
So are we good to start like back up talking about stuff, or are we still?
We could be good.
1 second. Let me share it to the Discord again because
Oh yeah, I'm gonna send the link in mine.
Yeah, I already tweeted it out.
okay. So let me just recap because I don't know exactly where we
Or
Got
cut off,
lost?
yeah.
So the this whole risk calculation and such is also true for families. If you are going to go into a new tax bracket if you continue working for the last 3 months of the year, what you might say is we've made enough money for the rest of the year that I now value family time over working.
Yep.
And so the government pretends to care about unemployment, but the taxes that they levy actually incentivize unemployment. And thus, they cause the very thing that they say that they will get rid of.
Yep.
Right. And I was gonna make a point before we cut out, but families that are anybody that's being taxed, you're able to save less money. So as well as taxing and whatever bracket you're in, you're having more money taken away from you that could be put in savings or whatever direct needs that you have. And the more that they tax and then the more they put in welfare, the more you're less incentivized to save money because, oh, well, if something happens, I could just get on welfare. And that has a degenerating effect.
Yep.
Sorry.
Okay.
I did the same thing as Colton. I clicked on the voice chat accidentally.
Yeah, and so at the end of this chapter actually goes into taxes, and he makes a point that as long as there are reasonable taxes that need the taxes interfere with the market economy too much, and he seems to that will pay for everything that he wants in terms of the government. And Hazlitt, being more of a minarchist, doesn't have a huge laundry list for. It's just kind of that, like, out for himself at the end of the chapter.
Yeah, one thing that I think is worth mentioning is that you were talking earlier about asking the question of what are essential, what is essential government spending, and most, if not, I mean, yeah, most NCAPs, most libertarians would just answer that no government expense is essential. And I think there's a bit of a caveat to be mentioned here, which is that government exists. There are things that the government is doing that no one else is already doing. And those things are often essential things. So while the government exists, I believe there are, in fact, essential government expenses. But that doesn't necessarily mean that those expenses should, still be the government's job.
Yeah, it's the difference between government and the state, essentially.
Yeah, basically that.
And so, yeah, it's just kind of interesting. I just kind of found it interesting that he had his outs for all of the public policies that he liked and such, and he never really got into it. And I don't think he needs to get into it in this book but he should. And the thing is that he has written 10,000 pieces, so it's entirely possible that he answered these questions somewhere else, because he does have a huge library of things he has written.
Yeah.
So I just thought these questions would be interesting to point out and have people ponder, essentially. I think that's the end.
I think that's the end of chapter 5.
Yeah, that is the end of chapter 5. Stay tuned next week, and a little tip, in case people don't already know about this, the Mises Institute has some videos on YouTube that go over a couple of chapters at a time, and I think we went over episodes 1 through 3 on this, and I actually watched them in preparation for this stream. I didn't really bring up any points from it because I thought we were discussing these things fairly well by ourselves. We didn't need to basically copy what the Mises Institute did or just bring up the points that they made. Yeah, it's a really interesting series. They go into far less detail than us, but they do have a good general overview of the chapters. So that's another resource that people go and watch.
Yeah.
I think we should also make the point that the Mises Institute has a very large library of free books, free audiobooks.
Including this one,
tons.
by the way.
Yeah. This tons of...
Yeah, Mises.org has this book for free and has many other books for free. So
yeah, I just got it. I was like reading it as we were doing the stream because I really didn't have time to read before. So it's just like reading the book as we were.
Yep.
But yeah, I got it from Mises. It's I think 2007 edition. It has like a few different things from the originals, of course, but it's the
Got to show the Mises Institute.
Yep, and it looks like we're going to be keeping the same day and time for next week on the stream, so we'll be able to keep up a consistent schedule. I think that we should address the inconsistent schedule of articles posting, since that's been a thing. I think we haven't published an article since May 11th. At least that's what it says. And the reason for that is we only had one editor at the time, and that editor got busy, and we couldn't edit any of the articles. So now we have more editors, and the editor that was having crunch time at work now has more. Be continuing with bi-weekly schedules of Wednesday morning and Saturday morning for article uploads.
I think it's also worth mentioning that just like everyone involved with the website is like voluntary. It's like no one's getting like paid for this, so it's like a really small team and everyone's just helping by like wanting to help.
Yep. That is definitely true. I mean, we don't even have anything for donations to keep the website running, so that's coming out of our pockets as well.
Right. Everything is it's really just like a mass passion project.
Yep.
Yeah, even people who like me who didn't actually contribute anything but the writing. It's just like everyone is just compiling whatever works they have and submitting it because everyone just wants to make sure that we have a place where we can refer to when we need like trustworthy libertarian work that isn't just whatever the hell is being pushed by libertarians.
We need our little oasis for solid libertarian content that isn't afraid to be right wing.
Yeah.
A covenant
Yep.
community, if you will.
I likened it to a country, and just in case people don't already know, what a so
Right.
all right.
Do we want to shill any, I don't know, our social media or anything?
Yeah, so you can
I'll post up
follow
links to
the
all of ours.
Hoppean over at obviously the Hoppean.org, but also at the Hoppean
On Twitter.
on Twitter. I am Colton. I'm at Hess You Very Much on Twitter, and it's Colton Maxwell Anderson. In terms of the username. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
I'll
I'm
let Steve.
Emo Hoppian. I'm Emo Hoppian 346. Just type in Emo Hoppian and there you go. That's pretty much it.
Isaac?
I'm abstaining.
Okay. Volnost?
It's not Volnost, so.
At
the-
not
at
Volnost on
Volnost.
Twitter. So. And Kyle?
Yeah, he's not Volnost. Okay, he's just someone else.
It's a different person.
Yeah. Anyways, I'm Kyle. I didn't introduce myself in the beginning because I didn't read the book, so I didn't think there was much that I was gonna say. But turns out we had a pretty nice conversation. I'm Kyle. I'm on Twitter at UFFZ Kyle. Yeah, that's it.
Alright. And I think that does it for the stream. We'll see you all again next time.